Hello, my name is Andrew Painter, and I'm a land use attorney with the law firm of Walsh Colucci based in Courthouse. Our firm is working with Tycoon Partners on its 4.1 site plan amendment and use permit request for the redevelopment of the Air and Space Forces Association office building located at 1501 Langston Boulevard. We filed this request in April of last year, and the application was formally accepted for processing in December. Our project team includes WDG Architecture, VICA, and Land Design. And we've worked diligently with staff over the past several months to work through several planning and design issues, and we're proud of the progress that's been made. This video is intended to provide a brief overview of the project and to supplement other SPRC materials. You can find all of this information and our slides on the county's website for the project. We look forward to your feedback on the project as the SPRC process unfolds. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Suzanne Piles with Tycoon Partners to provide an overview of her organization. Suzanne?
Hello, my name is Suzanne Piles and I serve as the Managing Director of Tycoon Property Partners. We're a Washington, D.C. based real estate investment and development firm that specializes in acquiring and repositioning well-located assets that offer strong fundamentals and long-term growth potential. Our team combines more than 2 decades of experience across investment, development, and property management. We have assembled a great team with extensive experience in Arlington County to execute this project. Our consulting team is listed on this slide, and you will have a chance to hear from them throughout this process. We look forward to hearing your feedback throughout this process, and with that, I will hand it back over to Andrew Painter with Walsh Colucci for an overview of the project. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzanne. Here's a contextual overview of the site with the parcel outlined in yellow. The site comprises approximately 1.31 acres located in the North Highlands neighborhood and is surrounded to the north and the west by the Palisades Park townhomes and the Park Georgetown apartments. It's surrounded to the south by Langston Boulevard, the Martha Custis Trail, and Interstate 66, and to the east by the former Key Bridge Marriott site. From a planning and zoning perspective, the site is zoned to the CO 1.5 mixed-use zoning district, which requires site plan approval for any multifamily development. The property is split-planned public, low office apartment hotel, and medium residential on the county's general land use plan. The property experiences a substantial, approximately 40-foot topographical drop between its northwest and southeastern corners, and features 7 distinct property boundaries resulting in a unique and irregular shape. The 8,000-acre square-foot westernmost portion of the property contains a wooded area that is subject to a conservation easement held by the Northern Virginia Conservation Trust. The property is also subject to the Langston Boulevard area plan, which I'll discuss in a moment. The property includes an existing vacant office building, shown here, that previously housed the Air and Space Forces Association, also known as the AFA, alongside a below-grade parking garage. The site is accessed today from 3 curb cuts along North Oak Street, and the building was originally constructed to house the Air Force Association. It includes a collection of commemorative bricks known as the Doolittle Legacy Wall, which honors those AFA members that contributed resources to the organization over time. While the office building was originally constructed as a matter of right in 1984, it was later expanded, pursuant to Site Plan 361, which was approved by the County Board in 2002. The building was subsequently sold to Tycoon in 2024 when the Air and Space Forces Association moved to a new site in Pentagon City. And today, the building is mostly vacant and functionally obsolete. As I mentioned, the property is subject to the Langston Boulevard area plan, which was adopted in 2023 and makes recommendations for land use and building form and massing and site access for properties within the plan area. Shown here are 3 snippet maps taken from the area plan. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, the property is located in the Area 5 East section of the Langston Boulevard area plan, which recommends redevelopment of the property with a new commercial, multifamily, residential, or mixed-use building. As shown in the upper right, the area plan's recommended heights are up to 5 stories along the northern and western property boundaries adjacent to the existing townhomes, shown in beige, rising to a full height of 7 stories, shown in pink, near the intersection of North Oak Street and Langston Boulevard. To provide adequate neighborhood transitions, the area plan's design guidelines further provide that building heights should be limited to 4 stories within 50 feet of the property line along the site's northern and western frontages. The area plan's public space network map, shown in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, notes the existence of the conservation area, but does not provide any specific recommendations as to its future use. This map also reflects a recommendation to upgrade the Custis Trail into a linear greenway and recommends that the Langston Boulevard North Oak Street intersection be subject to a future intersection operation study. Recognizing the property's location as a gateway to the Langston Boulevard corridor, alongside views to Washington, D.C. and the Potomac River, and after holding substantial discussions with community neighbors, county staff, and design team members, the owner has set forth 5 design drivers for the project, which are shown on the screen here. They include providing quality architecture and design, increasing housing supply and introducing for-sale ownership units, removing obsolete office space from the county's inventory, and using the site plan process to improve the public realm. Based upon these design drivers, we have proposed replacement of the now obsolete office building with a new 88-unit, 7-story residential condominium building. This image depicts the proposed building looking west along Langston Boulevard. The proposed project will introduce for-sale housing opportunities within the corridor, and even though they've been rarely constructed in recent years, residential condominiums comprise an important element in the continuum of housing choices offered to Arlington residents. An emphasis will be placed upon providing larger units than most recently adopted multifamily projects, with approximately 75% of the units being 2 and 3 bedrooms in size. The proposed building will provide high-quality architecture consistent with the area plan's design principles and guidelines. And through the use of quality architectural materials and details and setbacks and stepbacks, as well as cantilevering, the building will provide a visually interesting design that is contextually appropriate for this gateway location and the surrounding neighborhood. Shown here is the main lobby entrance along North Oak Street. The existing building's chamfered corner and ground floor building limits will be recessed back to accommodate a covered pickup and drop-off area, which will provide space for short-term parking and ride-sharing, and to keep cars from blocking North Oak Street. Shown here is a rendered site plan of the project. As you can see, much of the building will be integrated into the adjacent hillside, which allows the proposed design to take advantage of the surrounding topography and place certain amenities and uses below grade, as well as reduce its overall visual impact on the adjacent townhomes. As a result of this design approach, the proposed building's effective massing and building footprint, as one experiences it at the northern and western property boundaries, will be substantially reduced over the current office building configuration. The proposed building will incorporate a series of horizontal elements, such as private terraces and balconies, to provide visual interest and differentiation in the massing of the building. A series of large evergreen and deciduous trees are proposed to buffer the building to the adjacent properties. A green roof will be installed on top of the mechanical yard and penthouse to help reduce the building's urban heat island effect. The building's existing mechanical systems, today, are located near the northwestern corner of the property, closest to the existing townhomes. Under this proposal, we are proposing to shift them to be adjacent to Langston Boulevard, near the 7th floor rooftop terrace and the pool, in order to reduce noise levels to the adjacent townhomes. The project proposes an approximately 1,300 square foot AFA Heritage Gallery, images of which are shown here. The gallery would be owned and operated separately from the residential condominium as a museum and open to the public. The gallery will include meeting space and exhibitions of the history of the Air and Space Forces Association, as well as AFA artifacts and the preserved and relocated Doolittle Legacy Wall. The museum will be available for uses for meetings and small events by building residents and local community groups, and visitors will be able to access the gallery directly from the sidewalk adjacent to the Custis Trail. From a transportation perspective, the building will be served by 144 parking spaces, resulting in a residential parking ratio of approximately 1.6 spaces per unit, located in 3 levels of below-grade parking. The proposed parking supply is sufficient to prevent overflow parking on surrounding neighborhood streets and is also appropriate given the for-sale nature of the proposed building and its relatively longer distance from Metrorail. All loading, including sufficient area for full truck turnarounds, will occur entirely inside the garage, so as to not block traffic on North Oak Street at any time. This means trucks will not be backing onto North Oak Street. A secure bicycle storage room for residents will be provided as well with direct access along the Custis Trail. The existing below-grade parking garage footprint will be retained to reduce the need for excessive excavation and disturbance to surrounding properties. Some of this area, presently dedicated to office parking, will be converted into lobby space and storage and mechanical space, as well as office space and amenity space for residents. A series of transportation improvements will also be provided, which are listed on the left-hand side of the screen. One of these improvements includes the widening of the existing North Oak Street sidewalk in front of the property with a new 8-foot wide sidewalk and street trees. Here's a perspective image of the project looking south along North Oak Street towards Route 29, Langston Boulevard, and I-66. After substantial investigation and discussions with our traffic consultant, and understanding major bicycle safety concerns along this section of the Custis Trail, we are also proposing a series of safety upgrades to the trail itself, which are shown here. Coupled with those upgrades, and to further improve the pedestrian and bicycle safety experience along the trail, we are proposing to remove one westbound lane along Langston Boulevard. Here's the current configuration of Langston Boulevard, depicting 3 lanes in the westbound direction in front of the property. And here's the proposed configuration with the narrowed road. This improvement would create a substantial 45-foot wide pedestrian bicycle zone between Langston Boulevard and the building's ground floor facade. It would also provide a wider 12-foot wide Custis Trail and a parallel accessible walkway adjacent to the proposed building to serve pedestrians and residents. Plant beds and hardscape elements will frame the trail and walkway. And bike racks, a bicycle repair station, a water station, and seating area will be provided to enhance the Custis Trail and support trail users. Coupled with the narrowing of Langston Boulevard and upgrades to the trail, we are proposing to remove a portion of the existing sound wall along the trail to improve visibility, natural light, and safety. This improvement is proposed only to the extent that such sound wall removal would not result in a substantial degradation in noise levels for existing residents in the Palisades Park Townhomes and Park Georgetown apartments. Shown here is an image looking westbound. The image on the left shows retention of the sound wall, while the image on the right shows removal of the sound wall. Similarly, here is an image looking east along the trail towards the North Oak Street intersection. The image on the left shows retention of the sound wall, while the image on the right shows the sound wall's removal. We are also proposing to work with the Northern Virginia Conservation Trust to improve the conservation area, which is currently off limits to the public, and transform it into an ecologically healthier, publicly accessible wayside area adjacent to the Custis Trail. This includes removal of invasive species, reduction in the potential for erosion, and installation of native supplemental biophilic plantings. Adjacent to the Custis Trail, we propose incorporating bench seating, as well as historic commemorations regarding the history of the Custis Trail and the Northern Virginia Conservation Trust's environmental mission. We are also interested in providing field-located pervious wood fiber mulch paths to formalize existing goat trails, which have resulted in soil compaction and impacts to tree roots. Shown here is a rendering of the building looking east, depicting how this area can integrate with the building and the trail. And when taken together, we hope that opening up this private area to the broader public will not only improve its ecological health, but will also enhance the Custis Trail's open space features and provide a place of reflection, education, and respite for trail users. This all accords with the spirit of the Custis Trail Needs Assessment and Priority Improvement Study, which was released in July of 2024. In closing, the proposed project represents a major step forward in providing owner-occupied housing supply within the Langston Boulevard corridor. It provides a multifamily building and appropriate landscaping and an architectural design that responds to the site's unique topography, parcel configuration, as well as surrounding neighbors. We look forward to hearing what you think and engaging with you in the coming months. Please be sure to review the county's project website for more information. Thank you very much for watching.